I cannot take it for very long. Anyway, we're very happy to have you. We're streaming not just on YouTube, but also on various Facebook pages, as well as on Twitch. We appreciate you guys supporting the show. The way you support the show is you can do all kinds of different stuff. You can super chat. You can and that's on YouTube. You can throw a little for our Venmo that is in the top right corner of the screen, or you can go to our website laughfromhome.com, kick in a PayPal. It's a great way to tip the comedians as well as just support the show. And we're very happy to have you here. We have some wonderful audience members. We're going to introduce those in a second. But first, I'm going to introduce another part of the quarantine. One of our other hosts, ladies and gentlemen, you know him, you love him. The host of Idiot Test on Netflix, also regular on Chelsea Lately for many, many years. Please give it up for Mr. Ben Gleib, everybody. Ben Gleib.
Thank you very much, Steve. Hello, Isolation Nation. It's good to be with you while not being within 6 feet of you. I think that's the major key. We need to talk about major key. I'm like the DJ Khaled of stay the fuck away from me. The major key, don't breathe on me. It's really exciting to be here. We've got a great lineup. We got a great celebrity guest I'll introduce in a moment. But first, the third leg of the tripod that is the quarantine, the man with the tuxedo jackets. Please welcome Chris Bowers.
What's up, everybody? It is Friday, so this is the day we should be drinking anyway. I've been drinking every day, but at least today I don't feel like such an alcoholic. So let's do this. I got a Zoom party after this. And here's the reason I have Zoom parties. You're not doing them yet? Since everybody's on their phone, nobody's on their phone. It's actually refreshing. So let's have a good show.
Awesome. By the way, Bowers, that is so far, that's the best jacket you've had. That is absolutely incredible. Is this a Friday jacket or is this just...
this...
You just don't want to do laundry of the others.
No, I got this for Christmas from my family, and I don't know how this is a medium, so it doesn't button, so I can't wear it outside. But I thought for the internet, they'll only see it from here up, so it looks great.
Yeah, perfect. That is fantastic. It is Friday today, or as some people like to call it, Tuesday. Who the fuck knows anymore, right? But we're happy to have you, and with that, let's introduce. We've got some audience members here with us. We got Mitch, we got Jim, we got Superman. Holy shit, the Superman is here. We got someone that goes by Big Kid, and we're happy to have you. If you want to join our live on-camera audience, you can do that. You can get the Eventbrite link at laughfromhome.com and join us for future shows. And of course, pour in those super chats and regular questions as well. And before, are we going to introduce our guests, or we introduce our game first?
I think we introduce the comics, then we'll introduce Chris.
All right, we'll keep introducing. Bowers, your turn.
So I'm going to introduce 3 comics real fast. Just say hi when I say your name. Allison Goldberg's here to say hello. Allison.
Hello.
Thank you. Tom Simmons is here. Tom, how are you, buddy?
I'm great. Good to be here. Hello.
And then Austin Reel is here with an amazing mustache.
Hello.
For quarantine.
Hi. How are you?
We're going to get back to that mustache in a second. But now, Ben Gleib, will you do the honors of introducing our special guest?
Absolutely. This man not only is one of my close friends, but he is a close friend to America. He is a hilarious stand-up comedian. You've seen his Comedy Central specials. You've seen his Netflix special, his Amazon specials. You've seen the man touring the country forever. He is a mainstay on the headliner circuit. Please welcome Chris Porter, everybody.
Hello, everyone. Tell Superman he owes me $30 for that. He never gave me the cash.
Well, apparently, Superman, you owe Chris Porter $30 for an 8-ball. So with that said, Chris, I don't know what's happening with your audio, but you're cutting in and out a great deal. Is your audio also smoking? What's happening right now?
There might be red mic hole.
Did you click use internet audio when you signed on, Chris?
I did.
That's what I do, and it sounds good, so I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Anyway, we'll move back to we want to introduce the game. So many people have been playing our little $5 game in the past couple of episodes that we wanted to introduce it earlier, give more people a chance to play. So the way this works is anyone can submit an entry. We will be reading them all throughout the show. But at the end of the show, we read the $5 entries. We pick the best one. And the best one wins a copy of all the albums from our host. That is 12 comedy albums together. I just saw a new audience member joined. Shout out to Brian for joining. And that said, Ben, let's play the game. What do we got?
I love it. Okay, so we've got one that I think people will enjoy. All jobs, all careers on hold. Nobody knows what's happening in this world anymore. Do we remember what jobs are? Was that a thing? If you can think back to the great old days when we had employment, we're asking you today to tell us in the chat, what was the worst boss you ever had? You throw in $5 to super chat, we will read the answer and you can win all 12 albums, but you can just answer in the comments if you want to play without a chance to win. Tell us about the worst boss you ever had. What made them so bad? What did they do, say? We'll choose a winner at the end of the show.
And Porter jumped off for a second, I think, to try to fix his internet and his sound. So while we're waiting for him, we can tell some of our boss stories. I got fired for a job from a job 2 days in. No, I think it was on the third day, and I got fired for what they called a pattern of mean-spirited humor, which is why people buy tickets now. So,
well, I've been self-employed my whole life. I've never actually had a boss or a resume, so unfortunately, my worst boss ever has been me.
Yeah, I hate that.
Drink at work, right? Touches my dick constantly. He's a dickhead. I don't like him at all. So
yeah,
Yeah.
I run
how's
your
nonprofit.
company's? Oh,
It's called my career.
I think everybody now that we're working from home. I think probably our office's masturbation policy has gotten a lot more lax than it used to.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
I think we have Chris Porter back. Let's see if the audio is better. Chris, welcome back.
Sorry, I had to masturbate real quick. Do I sound better?
there you are.
Sound great.
So glad you shut
you
off
had to
the
clear
audio
the
for that.
passageways.
Apparently, yeah, I was pent up, and it was actually my own voice that was doing the digital modulation.
I'm glad we're playing this game already. So just a reminder to everybody, throw in a $5 super chat or Venmo or PayPal. You'll be entered into the contest, or you can just answer the question in general. That is the subject for today. Tell us about your worst boss. And that said, Ben, you want to introduce our guest officially now?
Our celebrity guest? Sure.
I mean, yeah, we kind of, but anyway, we kind of have already. I just want to make sure that we're
Let's
back
do
on
it
track
again,
so
damn it. He's one of the favorite comedians of the American people. He has specials. Basically, he said specials on every network, basically. Comedy Central, Netflix. I believe now it's Amazon. Might be Hulu. He is Chris Porter, everybody. Y'all know him.
All right, now we got Chris. Yay.
Hey,
Chris,
everybody. Joke about
yeah. It's still cutting out. I think Chris has to come again.
It's definitely still cutting out.
So I have a question for Chris, and obviously if you guys have questions for him, throw them in the chat. But I have a question. So Chris, when I first met you and I first got to know your comedy, you had long hair.
Yeah.
How long has it been shaved now? It's a while now, right?
Up 5 years, 6 years, maybe.
5 years. Because you had long hair for a while. What made you decide, fuck it, this is my new look?
I was tired of scaring children, and two, and this is a true story. I was doing hilarities in Cleveland, and right after one of the shows, a gentleman walked up to me during while I was out selling my merch, and he goes, "Hey man, you look like me." And I looked to my left, and my God, it was fucking Gallagher. Hotel and had what I referred to as a Britney Spears moment, where I was just like, I just want to be pretty.
I'm a
Hilarious.
Me and Steve.
And he told me some of the most racist jokes I've ever heard, and he was like, "These are from my new act."
Oh my God!
Wowza.
Yeah.
Was it real Gallagher or Gallagher's brother?
No, it was real Gallagher, and I know because I opened for Gallagher's brother.
Oh my God!
That probably made you want to make a change in your life too.
Yeah.
No, that was actually really. I was featuring, obviously, and I was like, "Oh no, I can do this. I'll be fine."
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually the point. I think that's the point where, like, most comedians get that first level of confidence the first time you open for a headliner that's absolute dog shit, and then you just be like, oh, okay, I could make it work.
I remember one time in Kansas City having to go up and excuse the headliner.
Oh,
and it
What do you
was
mean?
the worst because like we were buddies, like we had been getting along. I'd been burying him most of the week, but it was fine. And then like I think it was like Friday Late Show or something, like it got bad. And the club manager just walked up to me and went, "Go get him."
Oh.
Go get him. And I had to go up and do like another 10 minutes. And I just walked up on stage and he looked at me and he put his head down and just walked off. I've never felt more terrible in my.
Oh no!
Wow. That's always a tough moment for me to emotionally handle watching a baseball game, but that's part of the rules of baseball.
Yeah.
They go
Well,
to
much
the
like-
mid-show.
Go to the pen. That's hilarious.
Much like baseball, once you take a comic out, you can't put him back in. That's the rule.
Yeah.
No.
Makes lunch the next afternoon weird.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Well, Steve, I don't know if you remember this, Steve, but we did a college in Southern Indiana once, and after the show, the staff kept like, "Oh my God, Bowers, you look just like our IT guy, Danny. You look just like Danny. You have to meet Danny." And I'm like, "I don't want to meet Danny." We go downstairs, and like they tell him the same thing. And we see each other, and we're both disappointed. We're like, "God damn it!" And I shook his head. I go, I said, "Diet starts tomorrow, huh, Danny?" He goes, "Fucking yeah, it does, man."
But
So I
instead of starting a diet himself, Chris Bowers just decided to start wearing tuxedo jackets to look different than Danny.
Yeah, that's.
No, he was in a tuxedo jacket. That's what made it so scarring.
Hilarious.
They're like, "Hey, you look like my friend Gary." And they're like, "Where's Gary?" And you go, "Oh, you can see him on this website, amberalert.com.
I'm actually I am jealous though of the short hair right now. I've considered shaving my head just because I'm like, fuck, I need a haircut right now. Like usually I keep it a little shorter. I'm like, I need a haircut right now in 2 weeks. What the fuck is this gonna be? And so like there's part of me that thinks like just fucking take it.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna start looking like a member of My Chemical Romance here.
Yeah.
I had a full beard growing from the end of December. I had like a 2.5 month beard. And then I just read one article online that air masks don't form as good of a seal on the face of somebody wearing a beard. And I cut that shit immediately.
Man, tell you what, if the coronavirus somehow ninjas its way through your beard and into your nose and up your face, fucking you deserve it.
I mean, I guess I deserve it then because I think I have had it for the last 2 weeks. And it was probably caused by that damn beard. And so I believed it was an important part of my vibe.
Have to be.
What's that?
Do you know how accurate that sneeze would have to be?
I've got some people trying to target me with their biochemical sneeze weapons.
You got sneeze snipers?
You better believe it, dude.
I just love the idea. I love the idea that Ben was like, "Oh, a beard will prevent a face mask from working, so I'm gonna shave my beard off." No, I'm not gonna wear the face mask, but in case I decide to later, the ability now.
I wore it when I went outside. I wore that shit. I went to the market. I was face masked up.
Yeah, just because other people are stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
have to.
He's away from the coronas.
Yeah. So we've got a couple things coming in the chat, but so far that is boss participation, so that'll be read out loud in a little bit. Oh man, I just had a crazy text come in. This is something I never thought would happen. Verizon just texted and said that they're adding 15 gig to my hotspot for free because of coronavirus. That's a nice thing.
Same text. I just got the same text.
That's a nice thing that companies are doing. What?
Dude,
do you think they'll keep that up monthly?
Go, Chris.
Is that Chris?
Pornhub's giving away free premium. You don't even have to give a credit card.
And that's our
shit.
show for today.
Guys, yeah, we'd love to have you. Thank you so much for joining us. No wonder there are so many comics who are like, maybe in a week we can do the show, but not right now.
Dude, all the comics are going to come back with disarmed huge.
And soft hands for the stage transition handshake.
Yeah.
By the way, don't act like comics don't jerk off for today anyway.
Yeah.
They're 90% jerking off anyway.
All right. So speaking of data plans, Rachel, let's go. Let's take some comments real quick. What do we got?
Yeah, so Z Bunster gave us $50 and said, "Hey all, this is for the show. I can't stay on, but it's for the house." Which is super sweet.
Z Bunster,
Thank
one
you,
more
Bunster.
time. Thank you so much. Bunster has been supporting us every single episode. We very much appreciate the Bunst. So thank you. Thank you for doing that.
Yes, indeed.
What else we got?
Yeah, we have quite a few people telling you, Steve, not to shave your head. So
If we do it, that's
do that.
fuck a Stone-a-thon. We're gonna do it. We're gonna raise enough money. We'll vote with the money and see who whether I should shave it or whether I shouldn't. I did a thing for the Martin Grant years ago where I had people vote on, because I came back from Europe. I didn't shave in Europe at all, so I came back with a beard, and I said, okay, I will shave any shape into this beard, but you guys vote. And each dollar you donate to the scholarship counts as a vote. And they ended up the things that they made me do. They made me shave it like mutton chops on the side, and then like a Hitler stash, also. So I looked like if Hitler was a greaser. It was ridiculous.
Steve, we're gonna go down a slippery slope here. Where like you're gonna smoke weed, you're gonna shave your head. Eventually, you're gonna get colonoscopy. You're gonna get. I was gonna say castrate, not castrate.
We're gonna raise money for Bowers as writers. We're gonna have all kinds of telethons.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't think of the fucking. Anyway, I think it's time for our first comic. How about that? Can we bring our first comic? Can we do that? Can we go away from my murder in the English language to bring in a first comic? Ben,
we'll do that real quick. But before we do that, real quick, Rachel, are we caught up?
we are caught up.
Okay, excellent. So, first comic then, who's introducing? Gleib, I think you're introducing her, right?
Yes, indeed. Very excited to bring this funny lady on. Allison Goldberg is co-host of the Daily Dot podcast, Two Girls, One Podcast. She's performed. Whoa, Porter, you gotta mute one of those two or something. Whoever just turned their thing on, that was very piercingly loud.
Yeah. Yeah, who's not wearing headphones right now?
Please mute one of those two audios. Hello? There
All right,
we go.
are we good?
We're good now.
All right.
Allison Goldberg
we made
is
it.
co-host of the Daily Dot podcast, Two Girls, One Podcast, and she's performed sketch comedy all over the place. She also does a show that's live here in LA where she analyzes breakup texts. So please feel free to send yours to her at Instagram, Allison J. Goldberg. Please welcome Allison Goldberg, everybody.
Hi, friends. This is new. I'm just really worried I'm going to freeze. So anyway, well, I wanted to just first say, I think that there are some silver linings to quarantine, I think we know the obvious ones, like no bras, no jeans, but there's also no FOMO because there's nothing to miss out on. Also, people used to ask me about sports sometimes, and I don't know anything about sports, but now no one asks me about sports because there aren't any. The other thing that I think is really fantastic about quarantine is online dating. Okay, hear me out. Because you used to have to get dressed and go on the date, and you'd be stuck with these dudes for an hour, and you'd leave wishing you'd been doing anything else. But now you don't have to get dressed. You don't have to go on the date, and there isn't anything else to do. Best part, ladies, now if a dude is creepy, you can just shut your laptop. And there's no like awkward dance for the bill either. You know what I mean? Like I pay for my own internet. Thank you very much. I am still gonna keep dating in real life because like I was thinking about it and I think it's actually easier to pick up dudes in real life now. First of all, everyone is fucking desperate, so that's helpful. The second thing is you know exactly where to find them. Like if they're out, they're at the grocery store. It's the only place they're legally allowed to be. You can learn a lot about what a guy from what he's getting at the grocery store. You know what I mean? Like meet a guy by the quinoa, he's going to be annoying as fuck, but he knows how to cook, you know? You meet a guy by the protein powder, that dude's keeping up with his home workout regimen, you know? But he also might be one of those dudes that has like a mirror over his bed while he fucks. But anyway, or if you visit the vegan section, you can see all the men that are undateable because they're vegan. Just kidding, you guys. That's the only food left. So anyway, so I am a New Yorker, in case it's not painfully obvious, and I moved to LA fairly recently, and now we're under quarantine. And I'm trying to assimilate to California, but there's a bit of a language barrier, you know, because New Yorkers, we tell it the way that it is. And in California, you tell it the way that you'd like it to be. And this has caused some confusion for me, okay? So, for instance, when I first moved to California, I met this guy, and he told me that he had a spiritual awakening. And I did not understand. So at some point, I asked him if he would kindly translate to New York, and he told me that he had a mental breakdown. Another thing is, in California, I keep hearing a lot of people talking about intermittent fasting. In New York, we just call that an eating disorder. The craziest part to me is that billionaires are doing it. Billionaires. Do you know how fat I would be if I were a billionaire? Very, very fat. I mean, this is the physique of poverty, my friends. Anyway, I wanted to just bring in one thing that I think like really exemplifies this California New Age culture that I don't understand. So this is an Eventbrite that I found, and this is real. So I want to show you the screenshot. Okay, let's see if I can do this. Okay. Can you guys see this?
Yep. Yes.
So it says, it's reversed.
It's just mixed gender only?
No, it's good. It's good.
It says October mixed gender San Francisco self-pleasure circle.
Yeah, everyone just think about that for a second. In New York, we call this a circle jerk. Okay, so I want to read for you guys the event description, okay? And the event description, I just want you to keep in mind that this is the Eventbrite description for a circle jerk, okay? When humans gather, as has been known since the beginning of time, power multiplies. Being witness and witnessed in our own sexuality is an opportunity to reframe so many beliefs of our own and societally. Join this group to connect to your true inner nature of love and break free wherever you are at on this path. Schedule. This workshop will run from 7 to 9 p.m. First hour, drop-in partnered verbal sharing and connection exercises. Get in touch with the senses. Create intentions. Second hour, 15-minute non-obligatory self-pleasure circle. Just want you to see this is real. Then I just have a few comments I want to make. Okay, this is all real. Okay, so oh my God, where to start here? Okay, so first of all, I love how it's so like open and it's all about senses and intentions and reframing society. But oh, you better finish fast as fuck because we only got 15 minutes for the circle jerk. Isn't that the main event? Also, this program was clearly not designed with women in mind. I mean, depending on the day, I'm gonna need more than 15 minutes. So, okay, can we just visualize this for a moment, okay? What happens when you're the first to come? And you look around and you let the shame wash over you. You just watch everyone else? What do you do for the next 12 minutes? You definitely can't shut your laptop, pull up the covers, and pretend it didn't happen like a normal Tuesday. Am I right, man? Even worse, what if you're the last to come? Ooh, hold on, I'm so close. Just give me another 2 minutes, okay? Is everyone just watching you? Also, once again, not designed for women. How many outlets are available? I'm gonna need to be placed by an outlet. But wait, okay. There's more to the schedule, you guys. After your 15-minute glorified circle jerk in which we reframe society, there is, I want to know if you could see this, 30 minutes of connection and socializing time. Why? Isn't it time to get the fuck out of there as fast as possible? And I'm sorry, but why is the post-circle jerk socializing twice the time as splashing? Also, has anyone noticed what is missing from this ad? If the chat knows, that's cool. What is missing from this ad? What did you hear that's missing? Something really key. Anyone know?
Clean up?
Clean up! You nailed it! Eventbrite does not ask the dudes to bring socks for their dicks, so that room is just a disaster. Honestly, I really want to know if this is still going on in quarantine. You know what I mean? They're just having circle jerks by Zoom, just little squares of dicks, little Brady Bunch family of dicks. At the end, you know it's over because the whole screen goes white. Anyway, I'll give it a rest. You know, that Eventbrite, I'm really milking it. Thanks, guys.
Allison Goldberg, nicely done.
Fantastic.
A couple things. First of all, tip jar is open. If you guys want to throw in a couple of bucks, I've already gotten some coming in on Venmo. Venmo, top right of the screen. Obviously, our PayPal at laughfromhome.com, or you can just you can super chat us a couple. We'll read them out. Before
and also,
I get
Steve,
to that,
real quick thing,
yeah.
Steve. Considering Allison said, I'd like to clarify what tip jar means.
I was just thinking that. Thank you so much.
That is very important. Also, by the way, I think it was really rude of Allison to read the description of my event in front of everybody.
You wanted some free publicity. I thought this was
that's the tour I had to cancel. Yeah.
And also, Big Kid in our comments commented with the one-word response, "Jizaster."
Yeah, I saw that.
Nicely done. Also, I would just like to say I do have protein powder and quinoa at home, so I don't know what that makes me. And when you said, you know, at home, if it's a creepy guy, you could just shut your laptop. I'm like, fuck, you're telling all our viewers to just leave us. You guys.
Well, Allison,
yeah, so
Allison, my question is: so in a circle jerk, you're supposed to jerk off yourself? Because I've been lied to my whole life. That's not what's supposed to happen.
I do like how you asked me, like I'm now the pro of
different
circle
fraternities,
jerk. Like,
Bowers.
to be clear, I've never been.
But if you picture that everyone just like reaches one to the right and just gets the other guy.
That's what a circle jerk is, correct?
No, but Chris, this one's a self-pleasure circle. I think there are different types of circle jerks. So you've been doing it right. It's okay.
The one that Bowers, the one that you've been going to costs way more. So couple of Venmos coming in. Some people specifically for Allie. So here's a tip for Allie. says for Allie Gold or at Allie Gold. That's your I assume that's your Twitter or your Instagram. Says love the physique of poverty. As always, love for all you guys. Thanks for keeping me sane and making sure my Venmo history isn't a long string of taco transactions. Thank you, Jane Stewart, for doing that. Mariah Voss gave one in general for the show and said thanks thank you for me calling out the rude assholes. Thanks everybody for the laughs. Brad Pruce threw in $10 and says a copy of How to Approach Unapproachable People. I'm not sure if that's for any of us specifically or for all of us. Daniel Funk is paying me $5 to not use my pube trimmer when I shave my head. I appreciate that, Daniel. Thanks for the tip in both regards. And Len, just in general for the show, Len throws in $20 and says thanks. So thank you very much, Len. And
nice.
Rachel, what do we got? What do we got coming in the super chat?
Yeah, so we have Revel gave Allison $33 and said, "Hey, in case you wanted to go."
Did you guys get that? Because $33 is the price of the event
That
credit.
is awesome. Yeah, that is. It said it was sold out. So.
I know it's a popular event.
Allie.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's amazing.
And then we had Red Bingso gave $2 and just said, "Allie."
Nice.
We had quite a few people commenting, Allison, they love your voice. Joey D says she sounds what I think Barbie would sound like.
I don't know if that's a compliment or not. I'm not sure, but thank you.
I think it is.
Usually I get like
Great
Disney
voice.
cartoon characters, so I'll take it because that's probably a step up.
I'm also assuming that he has given that voice to his Barbie dolls. Like that he's like at home.
It's a tough time. You want me to voice your Barbies? I'll fucking do it.
Yeah. Allison is available for voiceover work for your Barbies at home.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but my Barbies have always in my head sounded like Chris Porter.
That's my
That's totally something you need to talk to your therapist about there, Ben.
Rach, what else we got?
So we had a couple, like everyone's favorite Jackass said she sounds like a 1920s children's cartoon character. So
yeah, that's what I usually get.
Yeah.
I think you have a very young Kitty Foreman kind of a vibe. Like with Kitty from that 70s show, the mom, when she was like 20. Her voice would sound like.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will say my favorite thing about your set, I mean, the writing was great, but my favorite thing about your set was that you very much not only acted it out, but you used the format, the leaning into the camera and coming back and things like that.
Yeah.
And like there have been a lot of comics that are just like, oh, I guess I'll perform from my bedroom now. And like you really approach this like this is a fucking show. Let's do this shit. So much appreciated.
Thank you. Well, thank you for creating this opportunity for us so that I'm not just hanging out in the bedroom. I mean, I am hanging out in my bedroom. Welcome to my bedroom, everyone. Yeah. It's weird.
And
I didn't want to see myself, so I actually hid everything. But then I was like, I don't really know if I'm using it the way I want to be. You know what I mean? Anyway, so yeah. I didn't want to see myself perform. That's like this medium is interesting, but it's like when you're on stage, you don't see yourself, you know?
Yeah. No, that's been the hardest part. The hardest part for me is being able to see my face while I'm trying to make jokes because I don't want to see my own face.
Right, so
the hardest part for me is also seeing Bowers' face while I make my jokes.
Some clubs, I'm sure you guys know it, some clubs have like if not a mirror on the side, they'll have like a framed picture directly in the back and it reflects and you see yourself all show long. It changes the entire performing experience because normally you're performing, giving jokes to people, and then now for an hour you're just looking at yourself being like, damn, I look good, you know?
There for that purpose.
I had that problem personally. I like the clubs that have the actual TV monitor, like right to your right, so it's you now, right there. Like you see what's happening now. And I'm just like, why would you even look at that? You'd get a better vision if you just looked at me. Unless you're on acid or something and it's too real and you got to make it TV time.
I love because sometimes Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say I worked with Titus years ago in Birmingham, and they had the same thing. Up on the screens on the side, they were showing him, And he made a point of like, you got to shut those off because people watch it like they're watching television, so they don't laugh as hard and they're not as engaged. So he was making them shut it off so that they would really watch him, which was
and especially like clubs like the Laugh Factory where they have
made it about him.
Good point.
Especially clubs like the Laugh Factory where the TVs are very small, so you're looking at tiny versions of yourself.
Yeah,
much smaller than you are in life.
Yeah, I've played venues
either.
Yeah, I've played venues. It'll be like a college. It'll be like a college where it's like a bigger auditorium, and so they put those screens up so that people can actually see you who are sitting all the way in the back because they're big screens. But you're exactly right with the Laugh Factory. It was like, I think they fixed it now, but at one point it was like a 15-inch television, and you're just like, no, I'm next to it and I can't see that. Like, who the fuck is watching this right now? It's absolutely impossible.
There was a club in Indy that wasn't there for very long called the Latitude 39 or something, but basically they had like an 80-foot LED wall, but it wasn't video. It was just a picture of the headliner. So if you weren't the headliner, you had to perform in front of an 80-foot LED screen of the guy behind you, just his fucking head. It was insane. Like people couldn't really, they were like, you saw their eyes kind of like, oh, yeah, it was hilarious.
It's gotta be weird even for the headliner. If you're up there feeling like Patton.
Right?
Yeah.
That's exactly what it looked like. That big thing of Pat with him speaking in front of it. That's a great reference.
Yeah.
By the way,
I would stop doing jokes and start giving a manifesto.
Yeah. By the way, heads up, Tom Simmons. Your video is sideways right now. I think you have to flip it back and flip it back over in order to fix it.
My sound has been really.
Yeah, turn it sideways. I'm about to introduce you.
Turn it sideways.
There you go.
Stand down, flip it, and reverse it.
Yeah, there it goes. You fixed it.
We got it.
All right, we got a couple more Venmos, by the way. We got a couple more Venmos coming in. David Knox threw in $25 directly as a tip for Allison Goldberg. Says, crying, laughing about the physique of poverty. I will heed the advice to avoid circle jerks that have a cleanup period. I actually think avoid the ones that don't have a cleanup period.
Yeah. You want the ones, especially with in today's day and age with coronavirus. You need the cleanup.
I want a bougie circle jerk where we pay a service to come in and do it later.
I think it changes the definition of pass the hat.
Yeah. I think
that's the cleanup.
I think what's great about it is like in the Eventbrite notes, it's like come as you are, but also wear boots. Because this shit's gonna be a problem.
I didn't even read you guys the whole thing. There's stuff about like optional to be naked if you choose to participate in the pleasure circle. And I'm like, who's coming and not participating in the pleasure circle, first of all? And are you keeping your clothes on, just whipping your dick out? Like there's just so many issues with this Eventbrite. Like I probably could have done like a whole fucking 20-minute set on it, but I was like, Allie, cool with the circle jerks. You know what I mean?
I'm thinking first circle jerk, you're clothed. Fourth circle jerk, you're naked.
Yeah, you got to work your way into it, I guess.
Yeah, you got to get comfortable.
As for who's going to be there that's not participating, I mean, journalists. I
mean, me, frankly, I want to go watch and just see if it's real. You know what I mean? Support that.
I think during this time of COVID-19, a really great home delivery business would be called Jerkmates, and someone just comes to your front door with gloves.
Oh God!
You just put your penis through the mail slot, and they make eye contact.
Or the female slot. We don't.
Yeah, no, or a female one. Yeah, no, I think it's a great business idea, though. You should roll it out.
Yeah. But maybe wait till you're not feeling sick anymore. So a couple more Venmos are coming in, and we'll go to some super chats in a second. We have Brittany Thurston threw in $5. Says, thanks for the laughs after a horrible day. Keeps me going during tough times and forcing me to figure out how the fuck Venmo works. Much appreciated. This show is definitely cause for some new Venmo accounts. And then 70 Coffin threw in some for the game. We'll get to that one a little bit later. Sterling Jones threw in $10. Says for Steve, keep doing you. I appreciate it. I don't know how to do other people. Even in the circle jerk, I would do myself. That's how it works.
Steve does not know how to do other people. That's why he's quarantined by himself.
Yeah, that's 100% why I'm by myself. Says the man with the blow-up doll. So
it was a gag gift for a birthday party. Because friends, I came over. I have friends.
Okay.
Yeah, it came with a gag. That's why it was a gag gift. So Sean Perez, thank you. Sean Perez threw in $14 and says, "I wish I had more, but here's $1 to each of you." There are way fewer than 14 of us, but thank you. And says thank you for doing this all. But that will be split amongst tip amongst the comics. So much appreciated. And Rachel, what else we got?
Yeah, so we have Tom the Cat gave Allison $5 and said, keeping up with the cartoon theme, Allison looks like Debbie from the Wild Thornberries. Great set, Allie.
Yeah.
We're gonna all have to Google that.
Yeah, what is that? Someone else knows. Is it a compliment? I don't know. What is it? I'm gonna Google this now. I'm on my computer. Debbie, what?
Debbie from the Wild Thornberries.
It's really rich in there.
And I wanted to remind everybody on the super chat and on the comments, if you want to play our super chat game for today, the question is tell us about the worst boss you ever had in your life. We'll be choosing a winner at the end of the show. Is it about time for us to move to our next comedian, you guys?
Guys, I'm not gonna lie. I do look like Debbie Thornberry from this cartoon. Thank you for that.
We are ready for our next comic.
Wait, before we move to our next comic, though, let's just catch up with the super chats.
Yep. So we had Jennifer Kofid gave $5 and directed it towards Ben. Hey, Ben, are your other senses heightened since you lost your sense of smell? Maybe you're evolving.
Oh my God. Is Ben going to be Daredevil?
That would be very interesting. I haven't tried to focus on whether I have better other senses. So far, it seems about the same. Luckily, I still enjoy food. I can see pretty good. Oh my God, I'm blind now.
Well, I think that'll help you out if you ever go to that circle jerk. So
I'll send you the link.
Here's Debbie.
I was going to say that
Debbie
seems more like a detriment than an asset.
Yeah, walking around a circle jerk blind. I feel like I'm going to be leaving with a sticky face, my friends.
Yeah, now my background is a picture of Allison
feeling around.
Exactly right.
All right. By the way, so our viewers can see this is the picture of Debbie from the Thornberries.
I get it.
Everybody can see it.
Yeah.
All right. And then what else? What else we got, Rich? Anything else?
Then we just had Casta give $10 and said thank you to everybody, and then Chrome Cannon gave $5 and just yelled Porter.
Nice.
Nice.
All right,
Are we ready then?
We got one more before we'll go to the next comic. Jordan Goldberg gave $10 to Allie Goldberg and said no relation. So much appreciated, everybody. Tons of Venmos and super chats are coming in. We love you guys. Thank you for the support, whether you're watching on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube. And that said, let's go to our next comedian.
All right, our next comedian, guys, is one of my favorites. I know I said that every time, but this guy I started following before I even did comedy. I saw him at a comedy club. He had just bought an RV to drive around the country with his family, and he's one of my favorites.
Can you
hear me? He has 4 albums on Pandora, and he had a great show on Fox called And Now This, and you're gonna love it. Go for Tom Simmons. Everybody, get Tom Simmons.
Here I am. I can't tell if you guys can hear me or not. You keep breaking up. So let's see how this goes. This may be a train wreck. Am I the wrong way again? It looks wrong to me.
No,
here we go.
You're good.
Looks great.
I don't know what your intro was for me. If you told them I'm a miserable human being or not, but I can tell you right now during this quarantine, it's a really odd time for me because the world's collapsing and it just doesn't feel as good to say I told you so as I thought it would. You know what I'm saying? I've spent the last 5 years trying to figure out a way to be informed and have hope. I don't know if you're going to need to quit reading. I don't know if you guys feel that or not. Because I feel real doom and gloom, but now that we got a disease going on, the climate is going to kill us jokes in 2 years. It's like, hey, you don't seem as gloomy anymore. You seem kind of hopeful. We got 2 years left. And there's people just like with this disease that don't believe it. The first guy in North Carolina to die of this disease was a pastor from Virginia who thought that what was happening with Trump was a media thing and it was all being made up and it was a hoax. And then he went to New Orleans. On his way back, he died. Okay, so Mother Nature said, I see your John 3:16 and I raise you a COVID-19. This motherfucker is dead. Okay. I'm just tired of people that don't believe in science. All right. There's people that don't believe global warming and climate change is real. And unfortunately, those fuckers are real. Okay. They're people that are running the country. Now, to me, that's like disagreeing with every nutritionist and doctor that diet and exercise thing doesn't work. It only took 9 out of 10 dentist survey to get you to switch toothpaste. 97% of science doesn't convince you that we fucking got a problem. People are like, no, man, that global warming shit's a myth, Tom. That's a myth. I get that. But you also believe that Jonah spending 3 days in a whale's belly isn't a myth, okay? You're at the kids' table, you jackass. Okay. To me, it's like if a fire alarm is going off in the building and it's like, dude, that fire alarm's going off. We should get out of here before we all burn to death. Like, fire alarms are bullshit. Bullshit. Chinese battery manufacturers trying to get you to buy batteries for your fucking bullshit fire extinguisher. I'm like, dude, come on, man. I can hear the fire trucks and it's getting hotter in here. Bullshit. It was hotter here once 2,000 years ago. Fire doesn't even burn you. That's a fucking liberal myth. I just don't understand how much you got to be smacked upside the head with truth before you realize it's true. I have friends that are like this. I'm like, dude, the Pope even came out and said that it's a major issue, climate change, and that humans are causing it with the burning of fossil fuels. You know that shit is getting serious when the people who have brought you not believing in science for the last 2,000 years are fucking on the side of science. You know what I'm saying? It was just 2 popes ago that they even admitted the earth revolves around the sun, for Christ's sakes. You know what I'm saying? And now they're ahead of half of the Republican Party on climate change. I don't know. I got people. Okay. This shit frustrates me, man. I got people that are like, that's just not real. You know, I had a buddy, I'm like, Stephen Hawking. I watched an interview with him before he died. He said it was the biggest threat to humanity. He's like, yeah, we don't really know that was Hawking typing. Okay, maybe you're right. Hawking said that's it. We have no hope to survive on this planet for much longer because of the fact that we keep embracing war as a solution and because of climate change. He said our only hope is to colonize outer space and get off the planet, which that's scary shit that Stephen Hawking thought global warming was a threat. I'm kind of hoping that Sean Hannity has looked into it more. I'm sure he has. We got to colonize outer space. Okay, I got a plan. Here's what we do. We take all the drugs that everybody's addicted to, prescription and illegal, and we gather them together, and then we jettison them somehow to like Mars and Saturn. And then we just make a worldwide announcement of, all right, everybody, drugs are legal, plentiful, and free up there. And then we just wait. Because the damn drug addicts will get us there, okay? When they need their shit. We will have a rocket ship made out of an apple and a piece of celery by Tuesday. All right, so that's my little run on climate change. You know what I'm saying? This is a weird time for me because, like I said, I told you so to a lot of people, and I have been worried about all this. Like, I have a little boy, and I've been convinced that within his lifetime, there's going to be some time where he has to deal with societal collapse. So what we've been doing in our house to get him ready for that is nothing. Right? We're just hoping I'm wrong. I'm like a doomsday not prepper. This shit went down and I wasn't ready. And somehow Trump's numbers are going up during all this, which is, it just fucking blows my mind. This guy, Trump, keeps winning, right? He says he's winning and he fucking is winning, right? Despite all facts and evidence and whatever the truth is, you know what I'm saying? And first of all, I don't really like politics. I'm a sports fan, right? So I got to admit, I kind of love this make up your own reality shit as a Falcons fan. I think that's what I'm going to do from now on. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a tough year defending our 5th straight Super Bowl championship in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? The time we blew out the Patriots 28-3 in that Super Bowl. Fucking, you know what I'm saying? It's then nonstop. Three birds, babies. We're the champions in the NFL in history. All right, I'm closing on this. All right, I got a little boy, right? My son Owen. I talk about him all the time. He's a baseball player. He just turned 15, so you know puberty's hitting in. And he's a catcher, so I had to go. He needed a bigger cup because his cup was too small. And my wife said, you got to go get him a bigger cup. And I'm like, well, he's already got like a large men's cup. She's like, yeah, he's pretty big down. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, I got to get him a extra large cup. I'm like, son, how big are you down there? He's like, I don't know, pretty big. I'm like, really? Are you going to be hurting people big? And he's like, is that a thing? Which, don't worry. So the good news in my family is my son has a big dick, right? The bad news is he gets it from his mother.
Yeah.
Tip
funny,
jar
man.
is open. If you want to throw in a couple of bucks, obviously Venmo top right of the screen, PayPal us at laughfromhome.com, or super chat if you're watching on the YouTube. We very much appreciate that. It is how the comics get paid. So throw in a couple of bucks. Make sure to specify if it is a tip for the comics. And we did actually just have another 25 bucks come in for Allie, and Eric Lieberman says that set was straight fire emoji. So that's pretty awesome.
Nice to know that other people are getting tipped during my set. They're like, you know what, that last person was hilarious.
They're catching up.
She was so cute, and they came alive and lit the screen up. But, you know,
I will say, by the way, I will say for the folks who are watching this on my channels, Tom Simmons is my litmus test for whether or not a joke in my act is hacky. Like, if I'm worried about Tom seeing it, I don't do the joke. Like, that's and the reason this came about was because I did a set. I think we were in Greensboro, in North Carolina, and I did a set, and like it was an hour set, and from start to finish, it was everything I was most proud of. But I did one joke in the beginning, a little throwaway about like the local construction, and Tom comes up to me after the set and doesn't say anything about the rest of the set. He just goes, yeah, you really nailed the construction is bad in Greensboro, huh?
Sorry.
You were 100% right. You were absolutely right. And I appreciated you saying that, because it made me realize, I was like, okay, I gotta work on that one there.
You have no idea how many young comics will text me and be like, "Oh my God, Tom Simmons just liked one of my Facebook posts." Like, that's how a comic becomes a real. At our show, that's how you become a real boy. Is when Tom Simmons likes one of your Facebook posts, you know you are fucking on your way to doing something.
Yeah,
absolutely. Tom, what do you think about the tuxedo jackets that Bauer's wearing?
I like it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know they made a what do they call it when a woman's pregnant with a maternity? I didn't know they made maternity. Actually, I love it. This Pac-Man is my favorite. It was like one of my favorite video games, to be honest.
Yeah. Now you get to play it on a full-size board. So
yeah.
We just had another Venmo come in, by the way. Jim Linhart, who's been supporting the show, says to Neil, I'm guessing that's someone in Jim's family, says has been quarantined for 15 days and counting due to COVID-19. She want to let you know how much she appreciates being able to watch live comedy. Thank you. Well, we very much appreciate you guys watching. Otherwise, this would be very sad for us.
And Jim is here in the video audience with us too, Steve. So thank you so much, Jim, for your support.
Oh yeah, see him right there. Excellent. And then Brittany Thurston also threw in $2 for Tom, solidarity for the awkwardness and weird pride, and for well-endowed sons. Oh, nicely done. Excellent. Rachel, what do we got coming in on the super chat?
Yeah, so we have someone had asked, and I missed who it was. It was one of the regulars. Just said, "Is that an actual brick wall?"
Oh yeah, we didn't even shout Tom out for doing this in front of a real brick wall.
Yeah.
I'm on my back porch. This is my porch. Got an actual wall. Your house. I got a gutter over here. Yes, I stepped outside.
This is how much of a comic is. He even made sure he had a brick porch just so he could feel at home.
No, my entire house is made out of brick, baby. I live in North Carolina. This is not. I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only thing that doesn't work is my phone in my house.
I just picture you on House Hunters just going through like house to house and be like, nope, no brick wall to stand in front of in case of the apocalypse. We can't use this.
Yes.
But is that real? I thought it was like rolled out paper or something. Is it?
That's a house, baby. That's brick.
Oh, damn. Okay.
I'm just imagining Tom looking at houses and he goes through a kitchen. He's like, hack. They've got a stove, fucking refrigerator. It's been done. Where's your original shit, motherfucker?
I wish I could show you. We just redid my whole. I wasted all my savings account. My house is like a magazine now. My kitchen and my living room. We knocked out walls. Looks great in there. You know what I'm saying? I got no.
Tom's walking around looking at houses, going, "I need something a wolf can't blow down."
Yeah. That's very funny, dude.
Actually, Tom, you say that you wasted your savings on it, but at the same time, if there was ever a time for your house to be nice, it's when you've got to be in it for a year. So
it has literally been awesome. You know what I'm saying? The only bad thing about this quarantine, like I got time off work, which we know how to the Yeska comic. Where do you want to go on vacation? I just want to be home for a little bit. So it's been 2 weeks. I've been home. The only bad thing that happened is my son snuck a girl in his room at one night at like 1:30 in the morning.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, I guess so. She came over for it. And it was kind of a weird. Like I'm yelling, dude. There's a pandemic going on.
Yeah, you're not even concerned as a parent. You're concerned as a health professional.
Yeah,
like
I was proud of the other thing, but I'm like, dude, come on.
How old's your son?
He's 15. She was 17. She snuck in. There's like a cop at my door.
Way to go, son!
I can't believe he's got 17-year-olds coming over.
His penis looks 17 though.
Driving girls coming over.
Yes.
He's
He
like,
didn't close
Dad,
the deal though.
This is a self-pleasuring circle. This is a self-pleasuring circle, Dad. We weren't touching it. We're 6 feet away. It was an Eventbrite I got.
I charged her $33. So Ben, Rachel, what else we got?
So we had a live audience chat come in, and the person's name is Big Kid, and I'm just wondering if that's Tom's son joining our live audience. Well, Big Kid's question was,
why was Big Kid ask live?
We can let Big Kid ask. He's on the.
Big Kid, go ahead and
do it. Yeah, go ask.
Ask me what?
You had a question you wanted to ask.
You had a question in the chat.
No, that was Mitch.
No, it says Big Kid. What is the fake brick? That one. That question.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. What is the fake brick wall to real brick wall ratio?
Like of comedy clubs?
Yeah. No. Of the people that have been on the social.
That have been on the show. I would say everyone to one.
Well, you had the people that like legit had like brick walls, and then the people that like were throwing up the fake ones.
So Brett Druck had like half a brick wall that was like above a fireplace, and I think that was the only one that was real. Am I forgetting any others?
I mean, Dwayne Perkins was construction paper. Sam Norton's was his television. You've done the thing in the background a couple times. No, I think you're right. I think Tom's the first guy to go outside and do this. So
yeah, a real brick wall. What we need to do is we need to have more New York comics sharing a brownstone with 8 other comedians that has exposed brick, so it costs $8,000.
Also glad that our branding is working so well, Big Kid. On your social, then it sounds like Hofstetter opening the show.
I'm doing this.
Well, in fairness, Ben, I have also said the name pretty much that way as well. So
yeah, well, that's yeah.
I do not fault him. Rachel, do we have any other super chats coming in for Tom?
We did. So Tom the Cat tipped $5 and said, Tom Simmons, no way. No relation, though.
Oh, nice. 2 Toms. Nice.
Yeah.
I don't think people are normally related by first name. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Trump supporters.
Tom, it depends on the culture. Depends on the culture.
We had FLT of 2 give Tom $10 and said brilliant set.
Yes, agreed. Awesome.
And then we did have a question come in for everybody from she's a live audience member, but she sends us a lot of super chats. I don't know if she wants to tell it to us in person, but Kyra gave $25. Do you want to
do you want to do it live, or do you want us to read it off?
Oh, I forgot what I said. I should stop drinking.
This is the problem when Bowers encourages this much drinking on the show.
That's sorry. I'm sorry. Just for
Don't
each
worry.
comic, please tell me if you've read any good books lately, Steve. I've already read yours twice. I need to stay busy during this quarantine. Thank you.
What do you read,
well, first
fiction
of
or
all-
nonfiction?
I like the classics.
Well, I personally have been every day having to catch up with 942 WhatsApp messages in the 8 different groups I'm in with people sharing essential information about the COVID-19 outbreak. So I've been not able to get to any reading other than that.
By the way, how many for the people in here, how many of your exes have reached out being like, hey, just checking on you? Have you had that yet?
Not a single one, goddammit.
Not a one?
Yeah, not a one.
That is a victory then. So
Well, no, it's actually kind of weird for me because I'm close with several of my exes, and now they chose not to reach out. So, what is it that they were keeping in touch with before, just to rub it in? But as soon as my life's in danger, fuck them.
No,
By the way, I would also
once
like
you
to
couldn't be
point
a
out-
booty call, they were out.
Exactly right.
I would also like to point out that Carrie, I appreciate that you've read my book twice. You're the only one on this panel who has. Some of my closest friends are here, but thank you so much. I mean,
well, Steve, that's just because it's very hard to read someone's book twice if you haven't read it the first time.
God damn it.
Jesus.
That is what I meant. You know what? If I was your ex, I wouldn't call you either. So, oh, look at that. Big Hit has my book as well. Just people who know me in person don't have it. So thank you very much to those of you who do.
He has a book?
Bowers is like, what is a book?
Yeah.
I read Catcher in the Rye in high school. That counts, right? That's the only
That's
book I've
not
ever
mine, Bowers.
I've read
Why
five.
is everything
I've read
Bowers,
5 books in my whole life.
Even the books Bowers have read involve food somehow. Catcher on Rye, please.
Oh my God.
Bowers only read that book because he thought it was a deli menu. So
when it comes to Rye, I'm a catcher and a pitcher.
I thought it was ketchup in the rye, but I fucking misunderstood.
I have a question for Superman in our live audience, in our live video audience. Is that a rock climbing wall you have on the side there?
Yeah.
You have your own home rock climbing wall?
Well, the previous owner was an engineer, and he and his kid climbed. So when we moved in, there was a 12-foot rock climbing wall in my garage, and that my 7 and 5-year-old thought it was awesome, and I realized they were going to die. So I luckily had a buddy that could cut it in half, got it down to my basement, and so now they have their own little Ninja Warrior course that's only about,
that's cool.
It's about
so cool.
6 feet tall and a little crash pad. So there's some of the only kids Bowers will tolerate. So I must be doing something right.
That's awesome. Yeah,
they knew I had a thing with Uncle Bowers
since 1996.
What's that?
I said Bowers is like, I haven't met a kid since 1996.
Yeah. I thought you
by
said
the way,
I haven't had a kid since 1996.
I hope. Also, by the way, we didn't even answer Carrie's question. So
I got one.
Anyone read any good books lately? Yeah.
I'm in the process of reading To Kill a Mockingbird, which is I don't really read fiction a lot anymore, but that was good. And I recently read Rabbit, which is the Miss Pat story, which is really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then for nonfiction, I just finished reading the new Jim Crow, which is pretty eye-opening. Yeah. So those are 3 good ones that I just read. Other than that, I recommend Richard Bach.
There are new Jim Crow laws? That's terrible.
Yeah.
Well, it's basically the drug laws. Basically, that's the argument is that the drug war basically ushered in a new Jim Crow where mostly minorities are put in jail and arrested, and now they can't vote or get access to housing or welfare or jobs because they've just been we basically designed a caste system around the drug war. Is basically the point of the. It's great.
It's a
sounds like a fun, good. Sounds like
very
a fun,
whimsical,
yeah,
funny book.
Fun, good read.
It's a great comedy show.
Yeah. Did you watch my set? Holy shit! I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's what I do.
By the way, Bowers. So I agree that the Miss Pat book is great. And Bowers, would you tell the Miss Pat story? Do you know the one I'm talking about?
with
Where,
Jeselnik.
Yeah.
That story. Okay, so this is okay. So if you don't know Miss Pat, she's a hilarious comedian from Indianapolis, and we might try to get her on eventually. But she was on Last Comic Standing, and Anthony Jeselnik was the host, and she told us this story. Me and Steve were at a show at Morty's, and she goes, "Yeah." Anthony Jeselnik comes in and he says, "Okay, here's the rules. Do this, don't do this, do this, don't do this, and don't touch me. I don't like that." Miss Pat said, he goes, "Any questions?" She goes, "Yeah. Who are you?" He goes, "I'm Anthony Jeselnik." She goes, "Oh, you the host or something?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm the host." She goes, "You better tell somebody. We don't know you, motherfucker." He goes, I've got a show on Comedy Central." She goes, "I don't watch white shows. If you're on HGTV building a table, I don't know your white ass." so we're dying. So after the show, we're talking, and she goes, "Well, who is Anthony Jeselnik anyway?" And one of the other comics was like, "Oh, he took over for Greg Giraldo on the roast when he died." And she's like, "I hate Greg Giraldo." She goes on this whole tirade for like 10 minutes. And finally, Steve goes, "Wait, do you mean Geraldo?" She goes, "Yeah,
That's so her.
Because she was all about how Greg Giraldo was racist, and during the OJ trial he did it because he's we're like, Greg Giraldo covered the OJ trial? It was so confusing.
And this is Miss Pat's story.
That was Miss Pat's story. Yeah,
that was Miss Pat. That's real. That's a real thing. She thought Greg Giraldo was Geraldo. Can we introduce our next comic, guys? Are we ready for that?
We can, but real quick, I'm gonna read a couple Venmos real quick. We have David Title threw in another $5. Says thanks for all the laughs, and Allison Goldberg. Emily Carpenter threw in $50 and says for Chris, so you can buy a new tuxedo jacket that might actually fit. And part of me and goes, "You think a tuxedo jacket's only $50?" And I'm like, "Actually, one of the ones that Chris has, absolutely, that's a $50 tuxedo jacket."
Get two.
Okay,
two.
Yeah.
It depends on what size you are. Honestly, what's funny is when I'm 220 pounds, that's 46 regular. That is about $50. When I get to 270 pounds, that's a 54 regular, which costs $30 more. So those are 80. So.
Bowers does his shopping.
Fabric.
Bowers,
you know, you
Bowers
could just go to AutoZone and get a cover.
Bowers does his shopping just one day a year. Whenever the commercial pops on that goes, "If you want 3 suits for $69, you come down here. Bauer, we have medium Bauer, we have fat Bauer. You get all handkerchief."
Well, it's funny is my whole life I lived in Indiana, and I thought I dressed like a black guy. I moved to LA, and it turns out I dressed like a Persian. I didn't know that.
By the way, I would just like to apologize to all our Black and Persian viewers who Bowers thinks that you dress like that. That said, I think it is time. It is time to introduce our next comedian, and then we will get to some of the super chats that we have and some of the viewer chats as well.
All right. So coming next, this guy is a great comedian. He's on one of the cast members of a show called Even at the Authors, which is a great. If you haven't checked it out, go on YouTube, find it. It's such a great show. It's comics make up fake books by fake authors, and they act them out. It's very, very funny. He's one of my very good friends. He was a motor pug back in the Morty's days, if you guys remember Morty's. It's one of my great friends. You're gonna love him. Give it for Austin Reel, everybody. Give Austin Reel a big hand.
Hello, everybody. How's everyone doing?
Well,
woo.
Very good. I too am much like Tom. I am trying to embrace the apocalypse to some degree. I do feel the president's kind of responsible. And a buddy of mine at work was saying, "I wish I could know who was sick, who voted for the president, but it's kind of hard to tell." But I found you can always tell who voted for him. You can pretty much always tell how somebody voted by the amount of embroidery on their jean pockets. I mean, their mouths are conservative values and build the wall, but their bottoms are busy and say, let's start a mariachi band. You know what I mean? Is bring those mariachi band jobs back to America. I am down in my bunker. I've given up basement room, which I think is appropriate. I'm on my last shirt. I wore my gray shirt for this. Steve, I see you did as well. I was afraid I'd be underdressed, but I think I fit perfectly in with this group. Bowers, you look like a Christmas tree as always. I wanted to wear this tie-dye shirt that my dad got me because he thinks I'm 14 for the rest of my life. So he bought me a tie-dye shirt. And I've been too scared to wear it out, but I wanted to wear it on this, but it's not clean. But I never wear it out because as soon as I got it, I told my friends I got a tie-dye shirt, and my buddy got in my head. He said, dude, you're too old to be wearing a tie-dye shirt. Everyone's going to think you smoke weed and meth and stuff. I was like, and meth? Like, those two don't hang out together. Like, you don't find them around at parties very often. I don't know where you do drugs at, which, I mean, I kind of get what he's saying. Like, I get that the tie-dye shirt is the uniform for, hey, I smoke weed, but I don't really think there's a uniform for meth. I think the uniform for meth is just whatever you had on the first time you did meth. You're Ski Vest Jerry. That's who you are. And just dress up for meth, everybody. You know, I mean, go out, get a nice suit, rent a tuxedo, maybe. I mean, you know, that first high energy week, you could make a regional manager. That's a lot of meth money. I was kind of worried going into this thing because I wasn't prepared either. And the isolation has been a little rough, but I was feeling very alone before the pandemic. I had a little personal emergency. I was at the park and I lost my AirPods. And I found out that when you lose your AirPods, no one gives a shit. No one gives a shit when you lose your AirPods. When you'll ever feel. No one wants to help you find your AirPods. I was walking around the park trying to, you know, find these things, and a couple people asked me what I was doing. I said, I'm trying to find my AirPods. They're right around here. Could you look around? And no one wanted to help. I finally did find one guy who wanted to help. It was a guy flying a drone, which I should have realized that sort of like AirPod circle and drone enthusiast circle has a solid Venn diagram line up in the middle. Long overlap there. I'm pretty sure if a guy with transition lenses would have walked up, we would have completed the trifecta. Coin somehow or something. I don't know how it works exactly. But I did. People think AirPods are creepy. They treat AirPods the way we should be treating face tattoos, which I don't understand what's so bad about them exactly, but they do find them creepy. I walked up to a woman who was in the parking lot and I said, "Excuse me, miss, have you seen my AirPods?" And she closed her jacket and turned away from me. Like I was some local pervert. But I did find them. I got the pros now, which is great. I needed to find my AirPods for it's for all the splaining I do. It's very hard to splain in wired headphones because you got to do a lot of hand motions when you splain, and cisgender male. I'm most prone to mansplaining. And if you haven't mansplained before, I suggest you get out there and do it. It's a dying language. To try and preserve it. You don't know if it's going to go on. Bowers, you being a 45-year-old motivational speaker, I think you'd be a huge asset to the project. Word talker at this point, I would say. No, I do. I love splaining, but you got to have the wireless for the hand motions, because a big thing of mansplaining, if you don't speak mansplaining, let me tell you, you start every conversation a woman with, calm down. Okay, they love it. If you can work in at some point, where's the fire, Nancy Drew? That's just. But you do have to have the free hands, because mansplaining relies heavily on a single gesture that provides the entire context for the language, which is usually it's some sort of moment where a nice young lady's make a concession to me, and she's trying to form some sort of connection with me, and she might say something like, hey, it was really brave considering they had no technology for the Ewoks to get involved on Endor, and I'll go, yeah, but is usually an opener. And then this represents what you said. And then I'll say something, yeah, but, the disaster of the Death Star explosion completely decimated their environment, and they should have never gotten involved in the first place. And sort of this distance right here between the first hand and the second hand is a sort of a cisgender loser Pythagorean theorem. You can gauge having a good apocalypse. Pretty much business as usual, though. I mean, other than staying inside, I saw that we're still trying to kill the environment, which I'm glad. Hey, we might as well fight back. We might as well give them a run for their money. But I saw we're still building oil pipelines during all this. We're like, nah, screw it. And apparently it's easier to do because there's we build them through these Native American reservations, which I didn't know there are any left, but we just keep hitting them with oil pipelines. We're having a lot of success because no one's allowed to come out and protest them right now. You can't be in a group. They're just right. Which blows my mind. And I really do I do think these things are going to be the end of us. I'd like to stop them. And I kind of came up with a plan on how we can do this, because for every one of these oil executives out there that's shoving a pipeline through a Native American reservation, there's a stay-at-home woman who runs their life. Okay. There's a lady at home who doesn't really do anything other than tell this guy what to do. Because this guy's a pushover. I know what you're thinking. We've all seen Dallas. It's not a guy in a pinstripe suit who's going to flick a cigar in your face as he flies away in his helicopter. It's a dude in a branded polo with his phone on his hip who does whatever his wife tells him to do. And this is our end, because these ladies, they love crafting, right? Okay. And they love beadwork a lot. They really do love beads. And I think what we could do here is, if we can get the Native Americans to claim cultural appropriation on the beads, we can put some pressure on the home front that, no more beads until you get that oil pipeline shut down. Seriously. No one's guys, these aren't great women, okay? I'm not trying to bash on women. And these aren't stay-at-home moms, okay? These are stay-at-home women. One of them has something to do. You know what I mean? And these are capital W white ladies, okay? They don't show up to a march unless they know what food trucks are going to be there. So, you don't have to feel bad for it. Protesting is a fun Saturday event for them. They do. They love crafting. They have bead fever. I don't know if you've ever seen it before, but I was in a Michael's about a month ago, and I saw a woman who looked like she's about 50 come running in with her husband in tow behind her, and she goes zipping to the bead aisle. And I'm standing there watching there, and she's just ripping the tops off of bead packages, and she's got them all in her hand, and then she bends down and she picks up $150 bead organizer. Empty. You don't even get some starter bead shit with this. Okay? It's a connoisseur's bead organizer. And she's just dumping all these beads in there, and she gets it up to the front. She shoves just a bunch of loose bead packages to the guy, and he pretty much quit right there, I think is what he decided. And he's ringing her up, and he finally gets her done. They pay, and she grabs this thing, and she's so excited to get home and start, doing her bead stuff, I guess. She turns with it, and she stumbles, drops it on the ground, and it breaks. The top popped off. So she can't travel with it now. to her bead meetings or whatever she's doing. I don't know, just beads everywhere, not organized, in disarray. And I don't know if you've ever seen the saddest thing in the world, but I'm going to offer something up here. It's a 50-year-old woman on her hands and knees, clutching the keys to her Mercedes in her left hand, while using her forearm to shovel loose beads into a Michaels bag. Middle of this, she turns and she looks up at her husband and she goes, "Great. Now I'm never going to get anything done." The nerve to use the term "get anything done" like she's on a schedule, like she's got like she's gonna fall behind, guys. It's cutthroat down in that finished basement. Sometimes it's a little bit and the direct TV goes in and out. You don't know what it's like. It's terrible down there. Orders are falling behind. Jesus, the orders, guys. Friendship bracelets not getting made. Relationships falling apart across the city while this woman's stuck down in her basement. All right, that's all I got. That's
Yeah.
Austin Real. Tip jar is open for Austin Real. If any of the ladies want to tip them, want to tip Austin, he will explain how to do it to you.
I can do that in a very condescending way if you'd like. Yeah,
if you want to tip him this much.
Yeah.
Tip jar is open if you want to throw in a couple bucks for Austin, and a couple more things have come in throughout the show, by the way, that we're going to be getting to shortly. So keep sending those in as well, and we're going to be getting to the contest of the worst boss soon. What's up, Ben?
I just wanted to say that was hilarious. I loved the set. Very, very funny satire there. And I was amazed how you were not distracted even once by some of the bodies in your creepy basement coming to life during your joke.
Vicks on the mustache, so I can't smell them. But yeah.
Dude, if you weren't listening,
locker back there.
If you weren't listening to the audio and you just saw the video, you look like a soldier reading off his captor's demand.
Totally.
I do love the mustache. I do love the mustache, Austin.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the AirPods that made the woman close her jacket up, or if it was the mustache, but one of the two for sure.
I think the drone was with me too. I think that was really good.
Rachel, do we have anything coming in?
We do. So Big Kid, who is on our, again, Big Kid, 2222, he gave Austin, and he said, "Dude, Austin is killing it."
Nice. Thank you, Big Kid. Much appreciated.
Thanks, Big Kid.
Austin, you can use that to get some beads.
I know, right? I'll get a shortage. I'm going to start hoarding beads like toilet paper.
We had Rebel give $2 and said, "I spent all my money on a circle jerk."
Nice.
Trevor Nunya said, "Austin looks like he's already living through the zombie apocalypse."
Yeah.
And then someone in a super chat just said, I think it was Superman, just said, "Whose basement is Austin Real trapped in, and how much lotion has he put on his skin so far?"
Actually, by the way, Austin's backdrop, that's actually a green screen. He's in his mansion, but wants to seem like a man of the people. Also, we just had Jane Stewart, Venmo, $5. Says, "For Austin, running out of money, but where's the fire Nancy Drew deserves props." So thanks for that. Thank you much, Jane. And agreed, that was super funny.
Thank you.
We had a couple more super chats come in for Austin. We had Teal White give $2 and said, "Austin, funny and cute as hell."
Oh.
And then we had Flight of Two give Austin $10 and said, "Austin, first, calm down, but that mansplaining bit is a really good set."
It gave me PTSD.
Yeah. Allison, you gonna be okay?
No.
All right, and we also have so we've got a couple things coming in from the live video chat. By the way, Carrie M says, "I want my friendship bracelet ready next time Austin is on." Nice. Also, Superman said, "I love that Bowers lines up the Coors Lights like a badge of honor." And there was a typo, by the way, in that where he accidentally said lattes, but we know that's not for Bowers, so I assumed it was lights.
Yes. we call them Coors lattes, so not to seem like alcoholics in my group of friends. So that's what we
Yeah. Oh, nice. Oh, so it was on purpose. Okay, got it. So that said, we're gonna do the boss contest in a second. If you haven't chimed in yet, you can play for free if you want. We'll read a couple of the free ones as well. So just tell us the worst boss you've ever had. But also, if you throw in $5 with it, you'll be entered in the contest to win all of our host albums. We'll get to that contest in a second. First, we're just gonna catch up with a couple of the more chats. I know there was a video chat earlier, right, Rachel? Do we have that?
She said she lost audio. She'll be right back.
Okay, I think Mitch wanted to ask a question for me. Mitch, are you still on video with us?
Yeah.
All right, what do you got?
So I know you deal with hecklers a lot and you're pretty good at it, but I was just wondering if there's ever been something that a heckler said that just caught you completely off guard and you just didn't have a comeback ready for it right away.
There's definitely been stuff that's confused me. Like there have been moments because a lot of the times with hecklers, like hecklers don't heckle because they're rational and sober. Like, so a lot of the time, like they think, like, have you ever had a thing where you're coming out of a dream and you like talk to the person who's with you and it just makes no sense whatsoever? It's that. Like sometimes it's that where they're just like referencing something in their head and you're just like, what the fuck are you talking about? So that's happened. But there's never been a moment where like people have asked me before the idea, like, has a heckler ever gotten one over on you? And let's go to Venn diagram for a second from Austin's set. The idea of someone dumb enough to heckle and smart enough to heckle well, those are two separate circles. Those do not ever intertwine. And so no, it's never happened. I mean, have you guys, the rest of the comics on panel, have you ever had anyone interrupt your set in like a purposefully funny way?
No, I think you covered it well. There's a lot of people that say sometimes confusing things, but that makes it almost easier to just hammer them hard with just any semblance of logic whatsoever. A lot of times people will just chime in their internal monologue because they're a little drunker. They don't realize it's inappropriate to be talking and it's a field day.
Oh, absolutely. The idea of like someone will say something, like you'll say something, be like, oh, I was just doing a show in Cleveland, and someone will be like, my aunt's from Cleveland. I'd be like, that's not what we're doing right now. There's it's a very often to some people, comedy is just an ink blot. Like it's not, they don't understand it as a show. They're just like, oh, what's this making me feel? And I'm just going to say it right away.
I had a woman throw one of those table candles one time at me. She grabbed it on her way out. They were throwing her out, and she turned around and hummed that thing right at my face from and shattered on the wall behind me. Yeah.
Wait,
so that's
Tom. Your set in the places that you perform, someone threw something at you. I'm shocked.
Yes. It was actually an uptown. It was actually an Uptown Comedy Corner in Atlanta, and she was really mad. And I had already heckled Noah Garden Schwartz to death. You know what I'm saying? And then I go up and got into it with her, and then I just said something like, wow, all those gold teeth in your mouth and you have nothing valuable coming out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like
well done.
That's
she was
hilarious.
more like, fuck you, credit. Like she just grabbed
awesome.
one of those candles. Oh, yeah.
Porter, you got any interesting heckler experiences?
There was one time a lady, this happened not too long ago, a lady wasn't laughing, which I don't mind, but then she started yelling at her friends for laughing. And I was telling jokes about new parents and how I don't like hanging out with them. And I go, ma'am, you can't yell at your friends for having a good time. That's a dick move. And she goes, well, maybe I don't think this is funny because I've had an abortion. And we all went, what? And so I go, man, that's rough. I don't know why you announced that in a room full of strangers, but it doesn't really have a whole lot to do with what we're talking about. And then later on in the show, I did a Q&A. Sometimes I do a Q&A. and another lady from the audience raised her hand and said, "I want to ask that lady more about her abortion." And I go, "That's fucked up. It's funny, but it's fucked up because that's, you don't know her." And so then later on, towards the end of the set, I was doing an old bit, like a crowd favorite, that's called Rape Nudge. And I was in the middle of it. It's a classic off the Ugly and Angry. It's my Hotel California, if I say,
Yeah.
And so I'm not even to the punchlines. I'm just setting it up. And the joke is really about sleeping over at a girl's house for the first time, and she wanted me to sleep on the side closest to the door. And that's all I had really said, because some girls want you to do that in case someone breaks in and tries to rape them. You'll be on that side. And then the jokes are just about how fucking stupid that is. And so I get to that part of the joke, and the lady stands up and points at me and goes, "I was raped. That's why I had an abortion," and storms out of the room. And
she did a callback.
The audience starts heckling her because it's Atlanta and they don't give two shits. And I go, I got mad. I go, "Y'all are fucked up because, like, you don't know this woman. And, she's been through two of the most horrifying things people can go through in life. And why she decided to announce that in front of a room full of people is beyond me, but it doesn't give you the right to make fun of her. So fuck you." I didn't say fuck you. I go, "Y'all walked 7 feet that way and sold records."
I would just like to point out something about that story, that someone who hated you enough to heckle and heckle in that way, and then also announced to a room full of strangers she had an abortion, stayed to your closer.
I mean, even if you don't find me funny, I'm still captivating.
Also, it's hard. It's hard to walk around if you've just had an abortion. So she might have just had to sit.
Oh, Jesus! I was like, how can we make this worse? So okay,
Sorry, pal.
Do we have any? Do we have any super chats coming? And then we'll do the contest. What do we got, Rachel?
We had 2 more for Austin. Big Kid gave $10. I'm throwing $10 more just because I feel guilty for all my mansplaining. And Funny and Fearless gave $5 and said, "Austin, can you explain the mansplaining bit to me?" Fun set.
Nice. Brittany Thurston also Venmoed $2, said, "For Austin, you can mansplain anytime. Very regal mustache, sir." So nicely done. Are we missing any super chats before we go to the contest?
Nope, all contest.
All right, excellent. We'll do the contest. First, do you have a couple non-money entries? So these are ones for the comedians, because we're judging this. These are ones that do not count toward the contest. We're just gonna hear some fun ones. So what do we got, Rachel?
Yeah, so we had Riverman had said a vendor that he worked for hired a new worker and asked if they had any problems with the guys there. He thought about it and said, "How big are her tits?"
Jesus. That is awful. What else we got? This is, what? This is just gonna be a contest of which boss sexually harassed people the most.
Yeah.
What else you got?
Lee Jeanette said, "I don't have any money, but my worst boss was at 16 working in a fast food place, and he threw a knife at me in a fit of rage. He didn't get fired, but he just had to take anger management classes."
Holy shit. By the way, for a fast food place, that actually sounds like a decent boss. So,
it also sounds like kind of an upscale fast food place. They had knives. That's pretty
cool. It was a spork. He threw a spork at her for real, but it felt like a knife.
Yeah. What else we got? And do we have any coming from the Facebook or the Twitch as well?
I haven't seen anybody from the Facebook. I'll check, but we have one more that's non, and then we actually have, I think, 1 or 2 people in the live audience that can say theirs too.
Okay, cool. Because we have some Venmos as well.
Perfect. So Angie Adkins said, my boss used to let random girls behind the bar to serve drinks after hours and flirt with them by giving them free drinks. He'd come in way overdressed, get drunk on all the time, and was a little handsy. Also, my boss was Chris Bowers.
All that's true. All that's true. I did let people behind the bar if I thought they were doing it because I'm an idiot. Yes, so.
I thought she was describing Bobby Jewell at first.
I was gonna make a joke of like, and it was funny because she worked at a bank, and then no, her joke was way better than mine. Way better than mine. What else we got?
So we've got live in the audience, Superman, if he wants to tell his. I think his name's Ryan.
Yes.
What do you got?
So I once had a boss that punched me in the face because I threw his beloved pizza out the car window. I don't think I deserve to get punched. I think he deserved to have his pizza out the window.
Are you delivering pizza?
Hey, Bowers, you want to cover this one?
another Bowers is a terrible boss story. God damn it. Listen, we went out with North Side. My favorite pizza place on the North Side. We got I've been in three fist fights as an adult, all over pizza, by the way.
All over pizza.
So this was the first one. Fucking, I bought a whole extra pizza to eat when I was drunk. We went to a band. He was whining about some girl. I'm like, hey, shut up. And he kept whining. I said, I'm going to slap you in the face if you don't shut up. And so he says again, I slap him in the face. 65 miles an hour on the interstate. He rolls on the window, looks me in the eye, and then throws my entire pizza out the fucking window on the interstate.
Your move, bitch.
And I punched him in the face. So yeah, that happened.
By the way, I never advocate violence, but I also don't advocate throwing someone's pizza out the window, you fucking psychopath. Why would you do that?
It was a pretty special pizza. It was Queen to Rook 4. It was Queen to Rook 4. I mean, I literally looked him in the eye and said,
yeah, holy shit.
Now,
all right,
and then it was just
my
brother's our sober driver. My brother is our sober driver, pulls over to the side of the highway. Now here's the best part. He's gonna help me out, because I'm his brother, right? You two stop fighting. He gets in the car, puts me in a full Nelson. I now have my hands behind my head. Bowers is over here just headshot. I
thought you were going to say Bowers is over by the side of the road looking for the pizza. Way more on brand. All right, does anyone have a story that doesn't involve Bowers? Because what the fuck is happening right now?
Best boss ever.
Are we going to
best boss ever? We love him.
Do we have more? Do we have more on the video chat, or are we going to the super chat ones?
I don't know. Is there any more? The big kid. Did you have one?
I just have one quick thing I wanted to share. I one time got hired to do stand up privately at a comedy club for a wedding, and people got so drunk that a girl punched me very hard on the side of the head at the bar after the show, and I was hired for that gig by Chris Bowers.
We need to get to the actual contest for a second.
Ben Gleib did once buy an entire audience a shot. There were 38 people. He bought, and he paid full price for them at a comedy club. It was very impressive, man. I was always going to
thank you.
You didn't ask for the discount. You're like, I'm going to buy this whole, and he made everybody do a shot. 38 people in the audience on a Thursday. And it was a fun night, and then he paid for the shot.
Of course, the problem was it was at an AA meeting, so a bit tasteless. But Big Kid, you had one, and then we're gonna go to the super chats and the Venmos for the contest. What do you got?
Yeah, I had this really racist boss. He's always saying like really bad things, but he married this South African
Please don't repeat them.
He went and visited her family, and we came back, and he gave me some gifts that he had, and he's telling me the story, and he's like, the darkies down there, and he looks at me and goes,
"Oh my god!
You can call them that down there. You can call them that." I was
holy shit!
To hear what else he said, I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, after once someone calls someone the darkies, you don't have to listen to anything else they say. I think that's the general rule. It's not like, and then you know what? He actually after that really turned things around. Like that's not how it ever works.
The
all
only time
right,
that ever
Rachel,
works if you're talking about the Washington Redskins, then you can have a conversation. Other than that, it's terrible, and we should never say it again.
Yeah. We got a couple on the Venmo that I'm gonna read off. And first, some non-contest ones. So Sean Perez says, I just realized that not all the people on the screen were going to be comedians. So the $14 from before plus this new $1 can be split between those of you that are actually the comedians. How do I get to be on the screen with y'all? Great question. If you want to be on screen with us, go to laughfromhome.com, and there is a link to buy tickets that you could be on screen with us and then be part of the show. That's how it works. Kim Wu threw in $20, said thanks for the show, making the shut-in a little more bearable. Thank you very much, Kim. And then threw in another $5 for the contest. Says worst boss, a guy from Texas twice my age, made me wait every night to split a cab home, kept pushing a movie with great cinematography, finally made me borrow it. I'm half Chinese. Movie had sex scenes with old white man, young Asian women. I told HR, and then he gave me crap jobs for months. So yeah, this contest is pretty much which boss was the most sexist asshole or racist. But we're about to find out.
Did that girl ever give Chris Bowers the DVD back?
Oh my God.
Oh
my God.
1999.
Yeah. All right. I got one more. I'll read it a little bit. Rachel, what else we got? We got two more.
Before we go to the super chats, we've had Mitchell Kurzinger gave Austin $5 and said, Austin, that stash looks like you belong in a 70s adult film, if you know what I mean.
No, what does he mean?
Fucking in the basement after this. Over.
No, what does he mean?
All right, now for the contest. So the first one we've got, I think I have 6 or 7, 5 or 6.
Okay, I've got two more over here too.
Okay, so Teely White said, worst boss, he was a lawyer. He stole $5,000 from his employee who was dying of brain cancer, was verbally abusive, and then paid more for his drugs than his employees.
Holy shit. Well, he had an extra $5,000, so may as well, right?
Yeah. Guys, quick note, whoever's typing very loudly like they just discovered a computer and they're an extra in the background trying to be noticed. Great.
Then we have Mario Meeser. It was 1998. I was 18. My boss was about 40. Local pizza shop. Thought he was a pimp. Loved talking about coke. Got an 18-year-old girl pregnant, and then he OD'd in the restaurant.
He actually does sound like a pimp. Yeah,
that's a happy ending.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was I think that you worked for a pimp who had a pizza shop. I think that was. Yeah.
I did know D.
John Hoban. My worst boss was a high school principal who was caught by his wife having sex with a teacher in his office during the school day.
Well, as high school principals goes, at least he was a teacher.
Right.
That's true.
No, it goes down one. Principals fuck teachers, teachers fuck kids. It's not principals ever fuck kids. That's weird.
Oh, yeah. There's that's why they have teachers as a buffer. That's oh geez.
The whole cast.
Guidance counselors make the leap though.
Yeah. we also had another principal one. Stephanie Kofin threw in $5 on Venmo and said the worst boss ever was a principal who would stand in my class for an hour glaring at me while I was teaching. That is a bold principal to do it in class in front of all the students. Just that's a guy just being like, what of it?
Yeah.
That's fucked up. You guys have had, this is a sad game, by the way.
A little less fun than I expected, for sure.
Right?
I really thought it would have been I had this one boss did something real funny once. No, every one of these is a crime.
A lot of rape.
Except the ones about me. Those were funny.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've got
what
a
else
boss
we got, Rachel?
one that does not involve creepy stuff, but I'm ineligible for the prize. Maybe we'll save it.
All right. So here, Rachel, what else you got?
We've got a cougar's cub. I got bit by my boss's friend's dog while I was on the job. My boss refused to compensate because he doesn't have homeowner's insurance.
Shit. I'm just so glad that continued after I got bit by my boss. I thought that's where it was.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, we might have a winner.
I mean, also, in fairness, Bowers was hungry.
We have Amin Salah, his chief RN with the shakiest hands. This bitch spilled everything: IV fluids, pee from catheters, blood, you name it. Whenever she was with a patient and needed help, we all hid in the lockers. Retire, you jerk.
Oh, holy shit! That's like a current one. If you are watching, boss. By the way, I bet some of these people's bosses are watching. We have a decent viewership. There's probably someone out there just being like, I was trying my best, man. I'm so sorry.
The company of nerds that they can all just hop into a locker. Like, what's going on there?
All right, I got one here. Here's a Venmo that came in. Here's a Venmo that came in. This is from Dave Adler, who's to the rescue. Says got hired at a cable company call center with about 50 on at a time. Also a volunteer firefighter at EMT. As the director, if I could head to a confirmed structure fire, and the director said no, our customers have an expected wait time, and if I left, they would have to wait longer. The holy fuck, that is amazing. The idea of like, no, let that burn. We have to set up an appointment for the cable company to come in between 10 and 2 on Tuesday. That is a solid one right there. Rachel, what else you got?
So I've got two more. Jeremy Day. I work at a grocery store, and the last couple of weeks have been very busy and very strange. I cannot thank you enough. Oh, that's not one.
And my boss at this grocery store is so bad. We still appreciate it, though.
We do. Last one. Mitchell Kurzinger, I got hit by a forklift at work and then was asked if I could still work the last 7 hours of my 8-hour shift. I quit right on the spot.
Holy shit.
Good.
Yeah. I still think Bauer should not have been driving that forklift, but
I'm okay, though. I'm okay.
4 hours.
Also, Jim Leonard, who's on video in the chat with us. Jim, do you want to say yours?
I was just saying that I work for Tiger King, and now I'm into meth and guys.
It's awesome.
All right. There are a lot of great entries to this. I'm casting my vote for the pimp. I think my vote is the pimp, because to work for a pimp and have to make pizza is like, that's even worse than just working for a pimp.
Right.
Bowers, what's your vote? Actually, it's hard to. Bowers has to recuse himself from this because he's.
I'm gonna vote for myself, which is 7 people. So that's not cool.
Bowers is recusing himself from this contest.
I'm going shaky hand nurse. I think shaky hand nurse is a terrible boss.
All right, shaky hand nurse. Gleib, what do you got?
I think I probably also have to go with the pimp who OD'd at the pizza place. It must have been a very stressful environment. I mean, pimps can be demanding. Can you imagine him inspecting those pizzas and being like, "More pepperoni, bitch"? That wouldn't have been ideal.
Yeah. And comics. Chris Porter, what's your vote?
I'm gonna go with Shakes the nurse because. Man, I know how I feel when I get my pee on me and how grossed out I am. If it was someone else's pee, I don't think I'm done.
All right, we got 2 for the nurse, 2 for the and 2 for the pimp. Tom Simmons, who are you voting for?
I'm going with the shaky nurse also. I got no joke about it. Just,
Yeah, fair enough.
She's not doing her job. You know what I'm saying? She's spreading disease,
so
spreading blood and urine.
3 for the nurse.
It's like hanging out in the old folks' home.
2 for the pimp. Allison Goldberg, what do you got?
Between the mansplaining and the sexual harassment, I need a drink. This happened. I think I'm gonna throw my hat in with the pimp.
Oh, is it a pimp hat?
Yeah, it's a pimp hat. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the pimp and the pizza.
All right, we got 3 for the pimp, 3 for shaky nurse. Austin, you're gonna break the tie here. What do you got? Which is worse?
I'm gonna go with the pimp. My neighbors have a rooster that I hate, and he's got big pimp energy, so I'm very anti-pimp.
All right,
this is not
Rachel,
the first time I've lost a vote because of a rooster.
I don't know what that means, but it's fucking hilarious. God damn that.
I took it as a cock joke, but
I have no confidence. I have no context, but that's a funny statement. I don't care.
Rachel, what do we got? This episode ran so long. Who won? Who was the
So
winner?
his name's Mario Meeser.
So Mario Meeser, you won. Rachel will reach out to you and get your information for all the albums. Do we have any last minute super chats or that we need to catch up with before we say goodbye?
Nope, we're good.
All right, excellent. You folks were absolutely wonderful, and we really appreciate having you here. Comics, let's plug some stuff right now. Austin Real, what do you got?
You can catch me twice a week on the Funtown podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, the whole deal.
Excellent. Allison Goldberg, what do you got?
I would tell you about some live shows, but they're not happening. So check out Two Girls, One Podcast. We have new episodes every Monday.
Excellent. Tom Simmons.
I got albums on iTunes. My newest one, Tom Simmons Comedy, is good. But you have a channel on Pandora like everybody else. And I'm a regular on Stuart Huff's Obsessive Curiosities podcast. It's really fun. So check that out. That's
Excellent. Chris Porter.
You can see my 3 specials on Amazon Prime. And I have a podcast called The 1 Million Podcast with my sister. And ChrisPorterComedy.com for when the outside times begin again.
Excellent. Chris Bowers.
My new album, Unpopular Opinions, the pre-sale started on Friday. Amazon or iTunes. Chris Bowers, thank you, and at Bowers Comedy on Instagram and Twitter and Snapchat. Chris Bowers on Facebook. Come follow me.
Excellent. And Ben Gleib, what you got?
I would like to recommend Bowers' album. He is a much better comedian than he is a boss. He's found his calling. I wanted to just let y'all know you can see my podcast. You can watch videos of it on my Instagram and youtube.com/bgleib. But my podcast Last Week on Earth is on all the audio platforms. Just released a new episode last night where I summarize the world. And my guest this week is Ida Rodriguez. And check out my stand-up special on YouTube. It's called youtube.com/b. I'm losing it, guys. It's called Neurotic Case. It's not the URL of my channel. And just generally, thank you to all the comedians that have been here with us, our live video audience. This show is taped before a live video audience. All of you with us in the chat, thank you, Isolation Nation, for spending some of the end days with us. It's been fun.
And I did miss a super chat. Sorry, last minute. Carrie from the super chat or from our live audience said, Rachel, she gave $10. Rachel, please make sure every cent of this $10 goes to Bowers. He's going to need every red cent for his burns today.
That is awesome. And for his legal defense fund.
Statute of limitations. These are all jokes, people. They're all jokes. I've never sexually harassed anybody. I'm a fucking stupid codes. Greg Proops tomorrow. Greg Proops tomorrow, guys. Greg Proops is our
we have a huge guest tomorrow. Greg Proops, one of my absolute favorites on Whose Line Is It Anyway? Which improv is what got me into comedy, and watching Whose Line is what got me into improv. So I'm so excited that Greg Proops is going to be on the show. You folks are wonderful as always. Thank you for the Venmo, for the PayPal, for the super chats, and just for watching. If you want to, if you're on Facebook, please click the thumbs up. If you're on YouTube, make sure, I think it's also thumbs up. If you're on Twitch, I don't know what it is, probably a little robot icon. I don't know. I'm way too old for Twitch. What is it?
Like a star, I think.
It's a star, whatever
or
the
it's
fuck
a cow
it is.
udder.
Click the thing that lets people know that you enjoyed this, because then they will know to enjoy it and they will come join us as well. You guys were wonderful as always. Thank you very much, Isolation Nation. Taylor, take us out.
Bye, everybody.